Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, well, I started doing my vegetable patch planting stuff, and then I've got halfway through and I thought, oh, I should record this. So, because I know people will enjoy seeing it. Yeah, so that's what's happening in this video. And then I'm going to give an update on my pond, because somebody has asked for an update on the pond. So you ask and I will deliver. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get on with it, I guess. I've already recorded it, so I don't know where I started, but we're gonna go there right now. So I've just started planting some of my vegetables, and the potatoes, because I planted them straight up against the greenhouse, I've built a little support just so that when they grow taller they don't fall over this way and take up a lot more room than they need to. And because I've placed the support there, whether it's going to work or not, we'll find out. But I've then placed my cauliflowers, I'd say about a foot away from the potatoes, which is probably too close. But at the moment, I'm kind of working with limited space because I haven't yet built the vegetable patch, like retaining wall. So I thought I'd quickly just show you guys what I'm up to. So these are looking pretty healthy. I grew cauliflowers once a while ago. And they grew really well, but I've never grown them since, because at the time I didn't like cauliflower, but now I really like it, so I'm trying again. But yeah, the potatoes are growing really well. The garlics ain't looking too sharp, and the spinach is looking really unhealthy, so I'm planting it out now, and I suspect they're going to bounce back and look really healthy in between a few days and a couple of weeks. But the garlic ain't looking too good either. I'm not sure whether it's the soil quality or the watering, because they were just in cells like this, so they were drying out a lot and then being really wet a lot. So maybe that's partly to do with it, but I suspect that it's just to do with the soil quality, as in nutrient value, because these are also in the soil that I've just dug out of the ground, and they are looking rather yellow and not very healthy. But yeah, got some stuff planted. The garlic may be too close together. I think they'll be okay, but because they don't take up much space, and I've just put them in a double row to try and save space and just see how it goes, a bit of an experiment, I guess. But as I'm going, I'm just pulling out any perennial weeds that I see, because otherwise they will just be trouble all summer long. And I've got a lot of perennial weeds. You can see a lot of them coming up like under the potatoes. Yeah, so I'm just getting on with that. I'm going to plant the spinach out now, so I'll get on with that now, and then I think give everything a good water, and that should be it for now. Okay, so they've got some pretty good roots. They're just not looking too healthy. But once I've planted them and they start getting established in the ground, then they're gonna bounce back and they'll be pretty good. Maybe a bit too close. I might just do a single row of these. Yeah, I'll start here. Oh, a bit that I didn't dig. Oh, these are all the perennial weeds I was talking about. Where I turn the soil over. There we go, maybe that'll be alright. Maybe about this far apart. I guess it's better to have fewer healthy plants that are really going to produce well, rather than trying to pack in too many that aren't going to produce well. There we go. Okay, I'm only going to fit like one more in there, but let's pick a good one. Maybe this one. You know, I'm gonna do 2 rows. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 rows. Because I'm only doing half row anyway. If I do 2 rows, then hopefully double the chance, because I need to account for half of them probably gonna get eaten by snails. And then the other half either might not grow very well, or they'll do really well, who knows. But I've grown spinach only once before, and at the time, again, this was like when I was quite a bit younger and I just didn't like spinach at the time, so I didn't like it and I never grew it again, but now I like spinach. Yeah, so these, a lot of them have a couple in, oh, there's an aphid on this one. A lot of them have a couple of spinach plants in. I'm probably going to take one out of this one, and hopefully it'll do a bit better. We'll see, because I've got some of them, like this one has 3 in, this one has 2, this one has 3, that one's got 1. So what they say is if you just plant the one, then it'll grow a lot healthier. And I'm not saying that's not true, but I'll put it to the test and we'll find out how true it is, whether it's worth pricking them out or not. Cool. So the root system is really, really well established. So I think the plants are just going to grow really quick now that they're in the ground. Oh, I could fit one more there. I'm going to take 2 of these out. Oh, that's not even a spinach, that is a weed. There we go. And then I've got all these leftovers, but I'll keep these in case we get any fatalities, any slugs and snails get them, then I've got some spares to replace, fill the gaps back up with. This is really exciting. This is like the first time I've actually grown vegetables in the ground, because when I used to have vegetable patches at my parents' house, they were raised beds, which I guess they were kind of in the ground, but I've always dreamt of having like just an in the ground vegetable bed that you can, you know, just make as big as you want, and now I've kind of got that, which is really exciting. So far we've got potatoes at the back, cauliflowers. I didn't grow the cauliflowers from seed. I tried to grow some from seed, they didn't come up, so I bought some. But you know, the spinach and then the garlics, that's what we've got so far. And again, with the cauliflowers, I've got some spares. I've got 4 spares just in case. I'm suspecting the one at the end is probably going to get eaten, but we will see. Cool. Okay, that's that for now. I'm just going to water them in. I invested in a lance, so if you haven't used one of these before, I definitely recommend it. Much better than a watering can or a regular hose, and it will last forever. This was £40, this one, and hopefully it's going to last me a very, very long time. Okay, somebody asked for an update on the pond. I have to say, I don't think it's changed very much, but the water's a different colour. No, it's been really successful so far. So we built this purely for a wildlife pond. We didn't want to have fish in this one, that wasn't the plan. We do have 1 fish in here now, but yeah, that wasn't the plan. So far we've seen a mouse and we've seen loads of birds. Birds always come in, because we've got like just this foresty thing behind us, so the birds are always here, and we don't have any sort of, well, I haven't seen any sort of amphibian yet, but I'm not expecting them to come so soon. Maybe later in the year we might get some frogs or something, hopefully. We've added a nice grass behind here. What are we? Oh, Miscanthus adagio, and that's hopefully going to grow pretty tall and cover. It'll just look really nice up here. There's the greenhouse down there. Yeah, so the pond's looking pretty good. Well, yeah. Oh, we've ordered the decking, so the decking should be coming this week. Doesn't mean I'm going to put it up this week, but it's going to be here this week. Oh, I've added a red beech. I know these obviously grow into huge trees, but what the plan is I've planted it at an angle, and I'm going to train it slightly over the pond and then try to cloud prune it. I don't know if that's going to be completely plausible, but that is the plan, because I thought this kind of already had a bit of a cloudy structure in the first place, and I don't think acers do very well in our soil type, so I'm using that instead of an acer. Oh, I bought a new plant the other day. I didn't even know that these existed, but this is a type of Gunnera. And for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, my favourite plant is a Gunnera manicata, like the giant Jurassic looking Gunnera. And then this one is a Gunnera, what is this? Magellanica. And I mean, it's not like super interesting to look at, but it was only $3.99, and because it's a Gunnera, I just definitely couldn't not get it for £3. Well, £4. But yeah, it doesn't look like amazing at the moment, but I'm just excited to see how it grows. These plants are growing like crazy. They've spread nicely. That one over there has spread a lot. It's kind of come away from the rock, so I will try and place it back in there. But yeah, the grasses are looking really good. No decline, they're all doing pretty well. There's a feather in that one. Oh, there's an aphid on that one. Let's throw that in the water for a fish to eat. Oh, there you go, wildlife. Yeah, so they're doing good. Then we've got that plant down there, more of that. I found this little plant growing in one of my carnivorous plants, and I just pulled it out of the pot and placed it in between the rocks to see if, well, it's going to survive. It's going to do pretty well. It's like a bog plant, so I think it's going to do pretty good there. Yeah, so that's everything so far. I think that bowl at the end, what I wanted to do is either turn it into a water feature and have it sat there and spilling into the pond, or I'm gonna, because it's got a hole in the bottom where we used to have it as a water feature and the pipe used to go in the bottom, I might fill it up with soil and have it full of, you know, like succulents and like maybe cacti, just for over the summer, and then I can take it apart and whatever, keep the plants in the greenhouse or something. That is the loose plan for that. I've got my bird feeder there, which does really, really well. We get a lot of birds and squirrels, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, we've got, oh, okay, here we go. We have an issue here. Look at the aphids on that. So this is one of my sorbuses. I've got quite a few coming along the fence, and then I've got hazel, and then I've got crataegus, which is hawthorn. Hazel is corylus, sorbus. Yeah, I think that's everything. So what we're trying to do is have like a native hedge come across the back. But yeah, I've just noticed that this is covered in aphids. So I'm going to come in here and get these off with my hands. I never use pesticides for aphids because they are so easy to get off with your hands at this sort of stage. And yeah, they will come back slowly, but if you literally just brush it out with your hand, squeeze it just gently, and I'm not teaching you how to, like, I know this is a very simple process, but a lot of people go to chemicals straight away, and I feel like really is not my way. So there you go. just brush it a few times. They'll come back every now and again because a lot of them will drop down and then just crawl straight back up. But doing that is not going to harm the wildlife. Whereas if you spray them with chemicals and then birds come down and pick them off and then feed them to their babies, it's just not good. So I'll do the same again. There we go. Problem almost solved. Okay, cool. Right, so that is the update of the pond. We've got a solar powered aerator. This is it, how it works in the shade. But when the sun's out or when it's a lot brighter, like midday, it goes crazy. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was, I'm not sure, about £20, I think. And it does really well. So we are going to get a filter on this pond whilst we've got a fish in here. But once we take the fish out and put it into a different, oh, you can see there's loads of seeds in the bottom where they've come off the bird feeder. Once we take this fish out and put it into a different pond, we are not going to have a filter on this. It's just going to be wild. We'll keep the aerator on there for now, but like I say, we only got that aerator for while the fish is in there. Yeah, I think that's a pretty thorough update of the pond. So the decking is going to come over this line, so you won't see that edge. Yeah, and then there's that plant down there, just in that gap. I don't know the name of that one, but I'm just going to let it fill that gap. I won't plant anything else in there. I do want to get like an iris, but I don't want to get the flag iris. I want to get like a purple iris to go in the pond. Yeah, but that's it for now, I think. Yeah, not too much has changed, but there is the update. Okay, and whilst I'm here, I'm just going to do a couple of little overlooks of the planters, because to me they don't seem like they've changed at all, but when I look back at the old video they may have changed a lot. So the begonias are starting to flower, the marigolds are flowering, the cineraria has actually grown quite a lot, to be honest. I hadn't actually noticed how much that's grown, and the canna has grown a fair bit as well. All my dahlias are coming up really nicely. I will keep an eye out for aphids, because aphids will really love the dahlias because they've got really soft stems. Yeah, looking pretty good. And more dahlias. This one I did plant a canna in the middle, but no signs of anything yet. I do keep watering it, but yeah. If it doesn't come up, I might just stick. I've got an extra banana, maybe I'll put a banana in there. Okay, oh, this plant is looking pretty good as well. It's like growing really slowly, but it's really pretty. And then all the wildflower seeds have come up really well. There's a few grassy things in here, and well, grassy things. There's a few types of grass in here. I'm not gonna plant out any types of grass. I'm only gonna plant the flowers. I've got my beetroots, carrots and beetroots. The spring onions, actually I might plant them out pretty soon. And then there's some cauliflower, no, broccoli. Oh, and a couple of kale, which I'm gonna plant those out. Well, no, I'm gonna pot them up and then plant them out soon. And I think you saw all these very recently, but the sunflowers are looking good. Some of my sarracenias are flowering. Oh, one I'm just gonna point out. This sarracenia here is a sarracenia glider cross. It's one of its parents is the glider, and if you're interested in sarracenias, I think that's going to be a pretty good one when it matures. Okay, cool. Just a quick look. Sunflowers. This is the cucumbers. They're actually doing pretty well now. Oh, it looks like there's been a slug in there, or a snail. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna need to go through there and check where that snail or slug is and get rid of it. The Ami Majors, I potted these up last night in hopes that they kind of start to do a bit better. The echinaceas back there, no, echiums, not echinacea. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave it there because we went over all this in my last video. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.